The Banette fight begins with a Cotton Guard. So you're going to want to watch out for that. I would recommend leading Haze. If you need defog for accuracy, make sure your Haze goes off first. We coordinated with our team, Secret and I. I'm using Haze first because my Murkrow is faster. Then defog goes off. Evasion debuff stays up the entire fight. So if you're using things like Blast Burn or other low accuracy moves, that's something to consider. We did a defog, Haze, Tailwind, Set Sun, start. If you're doing Sun, I recommend that. I can get into some other strategies towards the end of the fight. There are some other options that you can go with to beat Banette. All you really want to do is make sure that you are taking care of a few things. You want to get rid of that Cotton Guard for physical attackers. And then coming up right here, you'll see me. I'm bringing out a Typhlosion. This Typhlosion knows Incinerate. So what I'm going to do is Incinerate because Banette is carrying a Sitrus Berry. And Sitrus Berry is normally just a... Also, say hi to chat, YouTube. Chat's being very curious and saying hi to you, so make sure you say hi back. Sitrus Berry, normally just an annoying berry to deal with. 25% with a damage cap of 6% on Banette here is quite a bit of damage. It's an entire turn's worth of damage. So you need something to deal with the Banette. You either can be knocking it off via something quick like a Weavile, or you can be incinerating the berry entirely. So that's something I would recommend. Going through the fire team here, you can see stats and whatnot. I was explaining to chat what was going on here. I actually recorded this live. You can follow me on Twitch if you want to watch me do raids live. I'll link to my Twitch. I've never really plugged my Twitch before. That's weird. So Incinerate, super clutch. You have to get rid of that Sitrus Berry. Also explaining here how you can get cheap Sun Team on. So if you just search Flamethrower and look at Pokemon above level 50, there's some options. You could do Flare Blitz as well. Growlithe is a good one. Rapidash via Ponyta is another good one. Those can be acquired for very cheap to make a good Sun team. Even though Banette is not weak to Sun, it's still a very, very good type. Sun is just a good thing. You probably want to coordinate with other people, though, if you're just buying them off the GTL, because you're not going to do enough damage to just solo carry the entire fight. Solo Q is going to be a bit of a beast. You definitely want to take care of Cotton Guard for that and the Sitrus Berry yourself. That's how you're going to win this fight solo Q. So I would recommend Haze and then Knockoff or Incinerate or something along those lines. For our team, though, it's pretty straightforward. For our strategy, we're just setting Sun. Ninetales is just going to live forever here. Unfortunately, it did get locked out of Dark Pulse, and it got locked out of Flamethrower here, so it's next to useless. That's not entirely true, but it is unfortunate that it did have to click Energy Ball, not something that was super effective or Sun boosted. The last point of consideration, there's nothing that you can really do about this, but towards the end of the fight, you will trigger a flurry of attacks. Those are priority. So you can't outspeed with Tailwind. Tailwind is useful. We probably didn't need Tailwind overall. I think we had enough fast Pokemon to deal with Banette. Tailwind is just good, though, just to ensure that you do outspeed. Rumel, unfortunately, used Nasty Plot in the attempt before this, and it worked out perfectly. Just kidding, it didn't work out perfectly. He got fainted immediately after using it. So he did no damage and it was useless. And then, of course, the turn that he doesn't use Nasty Plot, he lives for like 8 turns in a row. So if you don't have a Sun team, and let's say you're farming the hard mode team, if you have a bunch of dark type attackers, you could very easily take care of this boss. As long as you do the things that I mentioned, as long as you're taking care of Cotton Guard via Haze. You could also do like minus defense moves like Screech could work as well. Haze is just easy, one move, get rid of everything. If you do it with like a priority Murkrow, guarantee that you go first. You could Scarf even to make sure that you go first in your bracket, something crazy like that. That move or that item slot doesn't really matter for Murkrow. So this is a priority of attack, so you can see us getting absolutely murked here by a bunch of Thunderbolts. So there's nothing you can do much about that. It's a really tough, that makes it a very tough fight if you're not taking care of the mechanics, because what happens is you basically lose a row of Pokemon essentially, unless you're setting screens and that sort of thing, anticipating this coming. You could also fake out one of the turns potentially ahead of time. A little bit of a graphical bug there with the particle not working correctly. If you're taking care of you can survive that that turn, but the Sitrus Berry would give Banette essentially another turn of damage to take, and then it wipes out an entire turn by taking out 4 Pokemon of yours. So this is a deceptively difficult 3-star raid. But yeah, just to really hammer it home, you need to take care of Cotton Guard at the start, and you need to take care of the Sitrus Berry. Knockoff, I think, is the best option, probably. Incinerate is another good one if you're coordinating a Sun team. And if I were solo queuing this, I would be knocking off with like a Weavile. I would be hazing that off, and then I would just be bringing a bunch of dark types that do damage cap to Banette. Something, maybe even Sucker Punch would be good if you know that flurry of attacks is coming, but you'll see Banette gets taken care of here. There's a funky situation that happens. I'll show you just as in terms of like where the bugs are at here, and this could maybe save some people some grief if this does happen to them. We actually push Banette via the burn at the end here, and then it causes an issue. Essentially what happens is Banette goes into the subdued state where you would normally go to catch, and there's no option to catch. So I thought that we were kind of SOL here. It turns out if you just log out and log back in, that fixes this issue. Another thing that might happen is you get stuck in the Pokemon select screen. What you can do is just click go back and then select a Pokeball. So you're not stuck forever. You don't have to log out. There still is the bug, however, that if you have no Pokemon alive, you're transported back to the PC, it counts as a loss for you. So you still have to do the raid again to get the reward. So you need a Pokemon alive to do it properly. That's all that I have for you. Let me know if you have any further questions. So I would say focus on dark type attackers. I wouldn't recommend ghost types just because it's a worse type overall. You also get imprisoned out of Shadow Ball in the fight. So that's another point of consideration. So use the dark type attackers that you have from Halloween. Use your Sun team if you have them. And that's it. That's Banette, and hope you all are having fun on Halloween. And that's it for me. Good night. Good luck.